Dedicate. This one right here goes out to my homie with the drink. Nah, I mean, He said, I write what I see. Right to make it right, don't like what I be. I'd like to make it like the sights on TV. Quite the great life, so nice and easy. See, now you can still die from that, but it's better than not being alive from straps. Agreed, a meat notebook and a big that click when it's pushed and a whack-ass beat. That's a track that's weak that he got last week, cause everybody in the stew was like, that's that heat. A bass heavy medley with a sample from the 70s with a screwed up hook that went
stack that cheese.
Something, something, something.
Stack that cheese.
Mother, sister, cousin.
Stack that cheese.
He couldn't think of nothing.
Stack that cheese.
He turns down the beat, writer's block impedes. Crying from the next room, a baby in need of some pampers and some food and a place to sleep. That plus a black Cadillac on D's is what keep him on track to be a great MC. Yeah.
One you never heard of, I push it harder for the rhyme. I feel like murder, but hip-hop, you saved me. One you never heard of, I push it harder for the rhyme. I feel like murder, but
Good day, everyone. I'm your host, Casey Walsh. Welcome to our quarterly 1-hour live-to-tape television show produced by our broadcast television studio class. This quarter's show is titled Phase 1. It is brought to you by Digital Filmmaking and Video Production Department here at the Art Institute of Philadelphia. In this show, all videos, interviews, and segments are proudly produced by students enrolled at the Art Institute of Philadelphia. We are, of course, located in the heart of the city of brotherly love. With me today are my co-hosts, Ken and Joey. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for the introduction, Casey. And today at Phase 1, we will discuss everything from taxis versus bikers, Michael Vick, boxing to Pennsylvania laws, and a fashion show actually hosted by students here at the Art Institute.
Also, later there will be a musical guest, but as of right now, let's take a look at this video, Bikers versus Taxis.
Well, we all have our pet peeves here in Philadelphia. Taxis versus bikers have their own opinions. So according to some interviews we're going to show you in this next segment, look at the special topic.
We're here with Kim, and we want to find out from Kim, how does she feel about just biking in the city?
I only discovered biking in the city about 2 years ago, and it's changed my life. I live in Fairmount, so I'm not too far away from Center City, and I always drove into Center City, or I would walk, but it's really changed my life. You can get anywhere in the city fast. You don't have to pay to park, so you screw the parking people out of their money, which is nice. And as far as safety goes, definitely the first time I rode my bike downtown, I was scared to death. And I thought, oh my God, what am I doing? I do always wear my helmet. I advise everyone to wear a helmet and not to talk on their cell phone while they're on their bike either.
Tell me, how do you feel about sharing the road with cabs and taxis and stuff like that?
It's tough. You're riding down the road and a lot of the cabs are coming up right behind you. I tend to find that the cars are much more respectful than the cabs. Because I think it's that the cabs need to ride around all day, so they tend to just want to zip around bikers. But it's a dangerous thing to be able to ride with cabs on the street.
Okay, have you had any bad encounter with any taxi cab, and how did that go?
Yeah, one guy clipped me one time with his mirror. One time just rushed right by me and knocked me off my bike. You just got to get back up if you want to ride, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you think the city should provide a separate bike routes and separate taxi routes and stuff like that?
Yes, and I hope they do. I think that they said that they're going to be striping spruce and pine as an experiment, at least, in the fall, and then maybe when they repave those streets again in the spring, do it permanently. But I hope that they do.
If you have anything to tell the taxi cab drivers out there, what would you tell them?
If I had anything to say to a taxi cab driver? Yeah. Wow.
How do you feel about people that ride bike? Are they in your way?
I mean, bicycles or motorcycles?
Bicycles.
No, I don't have any problem with them.
You don't have a problem with them? So you never had an encounter because they complain that taxi drivers don't respect them on the road.
I would probably tell them to buy more efficient cars, to be better on gas and better for the environment.
Now, do you think that the city of Philadelphia should have a separate route just for bikers? Do you think that they should make a separate route just for them so that way they can stay in their lanes and besides you guys?
No, not really. They have bikes. They have bike lanes for them.
Now, do you ride bikes?
I ride a bike, yes.
Okay, how do you feel? Do you have any encounter with like a taxi cab and stuff like that?
I do not have too much experience with taxi cabs except when I go to New York City with my family, and it's a nightmare.
Okay.
And very expensive.
How bad is it for you to ride around cabs? Is it dangerous? How do you feel riding next to like taxi cabs and stuff? Because it's been...
Well, taxi cabs always scare the daylights out of me, whether I'm on foot or on my bike, or even when I'm in my car. You know, they're just notorious for cutting you off, or making the turn from the wrong lane and cutting across traffic, and so I get nervous around them, again, not just on my bike, but when I'm on foot and when I'm in my car too.
So how do you feel about cabs and bikes sharing the same road?
I think it should be all bikes. I think the city is entirely too congested. I think that it would be safer for the environment, and I think that our city is too fat, so they need people that can ride bikes more often so they can get more exercise.
Okay.
I think they should actually make paths through the city so that bikes can fit on the roads as well as cars.
Now, do you have anything that if you would have to address the taxi community, the taxi driving community, what would you tell them right now?
I would tell them that every biker that you kill is one less person eventually when they need to ride the cab. Okay. So think, it's your next fare is this victim now. So be nice to us.
What an amazing segment. Actually, I agree with one of the ladies who were talking about how the taxi drivers are a little ridiculous.
The environmental woman?
Yeah.
She was quite hilarious.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to ride a bike, so I guess that would make me fat. So.
Well, she didn't say that. She said that the city was too fat, but that's not really our topic right now. It's more towards the taxi and the bike.
And that's cheesesteak's fault, but.
But I would agree that bicyclists should have their own paths. As far as maybe extend the roads a little bit. That way the bicycles, because they're crazy when they're driving, and I take taxis all the time.
Yes.
Well, this is all very interesting, everyone, but we have to get to a commercial break, so we'll be right back, okay?
Black Label, Crooks and Castle, Nike, Timberland, Adidas, and much more. You name it, Fresh has it. If not, special requests are welcome. Fellas, get your white and colored t-shirts, 5 for $20, lowest price in the city. Buy an outfit at Fresh Friday, and you'll get a hat to match it for half off. No other place keeps you looking fresh. New Era hats, $25 to $30. Always fresh, always original. Fresh Friday, the hottest new urban store in the city. Come check us out Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., 41 North 7th Street, Allentown, PA, or call us at 484-515-5734. Fresh Friday.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. And now we will be moving on to our next topic, which has been causing quite a stir amongst all sports fans. Yes, we are talking about Michael Vick joining the Eagles. As we all know, living in Philly also means living and breathing sports, especially football.
I agree with you on that, but I also, we have to leave it up to the football community and maybe even the dog lovers. As part of Eagles comes, we need to see if Vic is worthy enough to be on our team. So that's what I say.
In this next segment, I'm going to be asking questions to people on the street. What do they think about the matter? And I'm excited to hear all of your answers.
What's poppin', y'all? I'm Mike Vick. I just got signed with the Eagles, and we're gonna talk about the Mike Vick controversy.
What is your opinion about Michael Vick after joining the Philadelphia Eagles after his felony charges?
Well, I think he's still a scumbag, but as long as he wins, Philly will be fine with him.
What do I think about the Michael Vick controversy? I don't really believe that it should be a controversy.
Michael Vick has served his time, and I don't understand why the animal protesters are protesting him.
So what do you think about dog fighting?
What do I think about dog fighting? It's inhumane and wrong.
Really, it depends on where you're from, where you live.
Do you believe that dog fighting demands incarceration?
Incarceration? I don't know if it demands that, depending on the case, I guess, but I don't know. It all depends.
Definitely, depending on what level, I really don't think so.
I believe that he deserves another chance, just like anyone else would that has made poor decisions.
I've lived in many cultures where dog fighting is a tradition, so I have no badnesses or goodnesses toward it. I've never done it myself. I would never do it.
A lot of other people out here make their mistakes, and they're entitled to move on. I believe the same thing should be allowed to Michael Vick.
I now know that playing in the NFL is a privilege and not a right, and I want to do whatever's necessary and be the best ambassador for the NFL.
Vic. Better yet, read. See, my personal opinion on Vic is I could get into it a real great deal, but I don't feel that he's worthy enough for the Eagles, and I am kind of upset for the fact that we got rid of Feely, and I could go on and on about the Eagles, but anyway, about you guys, what do you guys feel about Vic?
Well, I couldn't disagree with you more. I feel as though that he deserves a chance. I think that he made a mistake, he learns from his mistakes, and I think that he can possibly, redeem himself from this.
See, he's not really showing that he made a mistake. He's more so like, I am a professional athlete and I can get away with it. He said so himself before, I don't know if you guys have seen, but he was like, oh, I didn't know it was wrong, but yet I have to keep it away from the police. That makes sense. Either you're really not intelligent or you're really not intelligent. But anyway,
Well, we'll be right back at this commercial break.
Yeah, Vic.
Forget football.
There's wet footprints everywhere. I don't know what the hell's going on. Please come get me.
You
you can make a good dog great.
Welcome back. This next video is also sports related. In a way, it's along the lines of a documentary. This video is a document of the day in the life of a local boxer. We will also be able to see his daily routines, and he will be explaining why he chose to be a boxer.
Yeah, this piece was actually created by Daniel Sharp, a member of our digital filmmaking and video production department. I heard this work is very good and amazing, so this should be an exciting piece for us to all see.
The name of this piece is entitled Meeting Champions, so let's sit back and watch the day in the life of our local champ.
What it means to find your dreams, and I've been waiting on this my whole life.
I used to always fight, all the time. And each time I fought, I used to always draw a crowd when I was younger. So one day I was fighting after school, and the crowd got so big, people standing on cars and everything. I ended up in front of my home, and my uncle opened up the door and seen the crowd. And he said, if you fight so much, you might as well go to a gym, don't fight for free. So I went to a gym and never looked back. I think that tenacity is my driving force. We come from an environment where we're not used to having a lot, being held down. And after being held down for so long, you refuse to be held down anymore. So that's been my drive. Where I'm at in my career right now is the fact of the crossroads, a transitional phase. Boxing is so much mental as opposed to physical. It's 80% mental and about 20% physical. And right now, with all the obstacles I've been through, I think I definitely say this is a crossroad for me for so many reasons. Being, counted out as the underdog. So it's a motivation for me as well because I get a chance to rise to the top, and I think true skills and determination always rise. There were some people in my life that I thought was good for me that didn't have my best interests in hand. I went through a period in time and I had to change some things out of my life and my repertoire as far as boxing is concerned. So now I rededicated myself and surrounded myself with more positive people. I think boxing saved my life for several reasons, because had I not walked into a boxing gym, I would just be a normal kid on the street corner. Had it not been for boxing, I'd probably been caught up, with drugs or typical street life, the things that plague so many of us in our communities. What motivates me is the fact of me being an example for others to follow. I'm showing in terms, if I can make it, so can you. Especially going through all the things I've been through, being a product of our, our environment, getting caught up, and coming back and achieving, bouncing back with so many calamities and strikes against me. And if I can change my life around, so can you.
Say hi.
And we will be right back after a message from our sponsors.
So anyway, about that last segment, he was, dedicated and everything.
Hey, my name is Reese. As a student, I need my HP for lots of things. I work with video. It's a pretty cool thing. Of course, I use a bunch of editing software to put it all together. And then I touch it up with some special effects like this. Cool, right? Music, something else I love. This guy, he's great. Listen to him all the time. And mix in a little bit of him too, for the extra flavor. But this guy, he's definitely my favorite on my playlist. I even take pictures in my free time, fashion shows, parties, stuff like that. I also take pictures of car shows. Which one do you like? Me? I like this one. Well, there you guys have it. My life, my stuff, my HP.
HP Pavilion Entertainment Notebooks with Intel Citrino Dual Mobile Technology. The computer is personal again.
And we're back, everybody. How about that boxing segment? I mean, it's amazing how someone can overcome their obstacles like that.
There is a modest man that can actually realize what he did wrong and then try to make his life better and have good morals, unlike somebody earlier on the show.
Well, I really respect his honesty, though. That's the one thing I like about his story the most, because most people wouldn't be honest about and be open about a topic like that, especially going to jail for what he went for. So, I mean...
Yeah,
so.
It's always good to see somebody come up and rise above everything. And
yes.
If you're a child and you don't know better, then that's explainable. But if you're a grown adult, unlike somebody else, but we're going to cut me off there because I'm going to keep on talking about Vic constantly. Yeah. But anyway, I have a question for our audience. Have you ever heard a law that was so ridiculous and obviously outdated that you wondered if it was valid or not?
That's actually a good question, because there are several outdated laws that just don't make any sense at all, and most of them they sound made up already. So,
actually, in this next clip, did you know our own Amari Duran asks questions to people on the street, which laws are real and which laws aren't. You may be shocked by some laws that are discussed, but wait until you hear which ones are real.
Oh.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amari Duran, and welcome to Phase 1. Yeah. Today we're going to be asking people about Pennsylvania laws. What do they think about them? Should laws be changed? Did they know about the laws? Yeah, we're having trouble finding people to answer some simple questions, really. Sir, would you mind giving us your truck for the day? How you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
Good. All liquor stores must be run by the state. Do you agree with that, sir?
Definitely.
Definitely? Should that law be changed?
Not really, except for maybe for the federal government to run them.
All liquor stores must be run by the state. What do you think about that?
I think so.
Yeah. So now the city should be able to run their own liquor stores, their own rules and stuff like that?
Okay, the city of Philadelphia to make some money off of it?
Yeah.
I think, well, I understand it now. The city should be able to do that.
Be able to, okay. So it shouldn't be every state, you think, or just Pennsylvania? You think Pennsylvania should allow their cities to, let liquor stores be sold under their rules and stuff?
I think so.
Okay, all right. Okay, here's a beer question, sir. No more than 2 packages of beer at a time may be purchased unless you're buying from an official beer distributor. What do you think about that?
2 packages, that would be 6 packs?
Yeah, 2 pack. Yeah, like a 6 pack.
Nah, I think you ought to be able to buy whatever beer you want to buy.
As many as you want?
As many.
What do you think about that?
I think, yeah.
So what if you can't find a beer distributor and there's only a beer store down the street and you want to buy more than 2 cases? What do you think?
Well, then again, no, because if you're having a party and there's a lot of people there, you need beer, you know, so.
Yeah, so.
Sauce that out too.
So that should be eased out, do you think, or eliminated?
Sure. Why not? Buy 4 cases. Maybe you're having a party.
It is illegal to have over 16 women live in a house together because that constitutes a brothel. What do you think about that?
Is there a law like that for guys?
Now we're trying to find some more people to answer some question about state laws, and it's getting very hectic here. And we got police here. Something happened. I really don't know what, but it's hot. People are frustrated, and but we're doing pretty good. Questions are coming. People are nice, and you know that's how we're gonna go from here. In Allentown, Pennsylvania, you know there is a ban on men becoming aroused in public. What do you think about that?
Well, I think they should be aroused in private, not public.
Yeah, one house, like having 16 women living in there.
That's a law?
That's a law. What do you think? Should that be changed? Should there be easier on that? What do you think?
Well, no. I think if you're going to be aroused in public, you should be arrested. Okay.
All right, so that law definitely stays.
That law definitely stays.
Tough questions, some ridiculous questions. How you doing, sir? This one's a fishing question. Do you fish?
Long time ago.
Okay, here's one here. You may not catch a fish with your hands. What do you think about that?
Well, suppose you are stranded on a island. You might have to do that.
That seems fair.
You may not catch a fish with your hands in the state. What do you think about that?
Well, that's a stupid law.
Well, that's okay. Why would you catch it with any other part of your body?
Do you do any fishing? You ever, a little bit? All right, so I got a few fishing questions. Some are funny, some are serious. Like if your fishing rod breaks and you really want that fish, you can't grab him with your hand. What do you think about that?
Well, I think either way, the fish is going to die once it's out of the water, so I don't think it makes a difference whether it's with a fishing rod, a net, or your hands.
With your hands. What do you think about that?
That's pretty ridiculous.
I guess they're saying like if your rod breaks and you really want that fish, you go and grab it with your hand.
Well, I think it would be better to catch the fish with your hands because then it doesn't have like, you know, hook stuck in it or whatever.
Well, this is Pennsylvania. If you're here and you're fishing and your fishing rod messed up, you can't reach your hand in there to get a fish. What do you think?
To you, I guess you can get it.
You can.
Yes.
You should be able to.
You should be able to.
So that should definitely be changed.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know what it is. What do you? We got him. Oh, we got somebody. Okay. This is a funny one. I asked the gentleman earlier. He didn't really know how to answer it, but here it goes. This is Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
There is a ban on men becoming aroused in public. What do you think about that, sir? We did get kicked out of Love Park, though. That's the only downside. But other than that, it's going pretty good.
Oh, that is terrible. That is. We shouldn't be able to do that.
Right. Okay.
Shouldn't be able to do that.
So you agree with this?
I agree.
I'm not sure that's something that doesn't happen spontaneously from time to time. Good luck arresting him. I imagine when the cops come running after you, you're going to be a little less aroused all of a sudden.
Yeah, right, exactly.
The evidence will be gone.
A person convicted of felonies may not operate bingo games. What do you think about that?
Well, I guess it depends on how much money is involved in the bingo games. I mean, if we're talking a lot of money, then maybe they shouldn't.
What if there was no money involved?
Then I don't see a problem.
Persons convicted of a felony may not operate bingo games. What do you think about that?
That's ridiculous.
Bingo should be allowed no matter what?
Yes.
What if there's a lot of money involved and you're a felon? What do you think?
It has nothing to do with the government. You're playing a game.
They're a felon and it looks bad and that's how the state looks at it. Do you think they should be easier on that? Depending on if there's money involved or anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have a felon, and you're walking the streets, you got to have a job somewhere, so, they got to have a second chance. So I think, if there's no money involved, then they should be able to operate the bingo hall.
What do you think about us staying here for the next 20 minutes?
What do you think about thinking? I don't know if you've ever done this before, but some people have. It is illegal to sleep on top of a refrigerator outdoors.
I used to live in Wichita, Kansas, and it's illegal to fly an airplane with your spurs on there too. So it's in that category. A little antiquated, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So you're okay with this?
No, I ought to be able to sleep on top of a refrigerator. Yeah.
You may not sing in the bathtub here, Pennsylvania law. What do you think about that?
That's pretty ridiculous, actually.
Like if you're disturbing the neighbor, I guess if you're too loud, that's how they look at it.
Oh, well, in my apartment, like, everybody's really loud, so you can hear everything that you're saying, so.
So that should definitely not be.
No, definitely shouldn't be a law.
You may not sing in the bathtub. What do you think about that?
Surely that's not a law.
It says, I guess if you're disturbing your neighbors or something, maybe somebody makes a complaint.
Okay, after 2 a.m. maybe.
After 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But you should be able to do whatever you want. Singing, yes.
Just sing in the bathtub.
Yeah, right? That's what I figured. And everybody really participated today. It's very hot out here. We should have done a segment on how hot it is today. Some of these laws should be changed, some shouldn't. It all varies. Mr. Smith, thank you. Hey, thank you, Mr. Honore. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Hurd. Appreciate it. Mr. Dewar, that was, right? Thank you, sir. Thank you. And for volunteering with us. And back to you guys at the studio.
Hey again, everybody. And what's up with those laws? I mean, honestly speaking, like, you can't grab a fish with your own hand. Like, what if that is your only way to survive? Like, I think that's ridiculous.
Or, I mean, like, who's sitting there? Who's going to be, like, sitting there watching you going, excuse me, sir, where's your pole at? Like,
well, I think it's like a natural thing. Like, you can't tell somebody, don't be fascinated by that. You just, hold yourself. I think it's just a natural thing. I mean, for guys.
You're talking about the arousal one now.
Yeah.
The arousal in public. That one.
It's a little crazy.
A little ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
it really is.
I feel it is very natural, but I feel as long as you're not like doing a Pee Wee Herman joint, you can't really help it.
I mean, or like, how about the 15 women or 16 women that can't even live in the same house? Like, what if they're all your aunts and your cousins? So you're telling me, hey, they have nowhere to go, but so what?
Times are hard.
I mean, what about the Mormons?
It's a little crazy,
yeah.
but
and the sleeping on the fridge thing with that's outside.
That's our government, right?
Yeah.
Why would somebody sleep on a fridge?
I mean, maybe that's your only bed.
It's just but I mean, a fridge though, like who's like, hey, here you go, have my fridge, sleep on it outside.
If a fridge is outside and it's on the floor, and I guess you don't have a bed, so
why would there be a fridge on the floor?
It's better than cardboard.
Hey, well, once again, we have to go on another commercial break. We got to pay the bills, so don't go anywhere. A refrigerator?
My last one, man.
Yeah, alright. I'm gonna hit the store and get some more beer then.
You sure, man? You drank a lot. You're alright?
Nah, I'm cool, man.
Alright, grab me two then.
Grab
me two.
In the United States, every half hour, someone is killed by a drunk driver. Think, don't drink before you drive.
One, two, three. Oh.
2, 3.
And this next segment is about the fashion department. The group Mime produced a fashion show each season. All the clothes were worn by the models were actually pieces made by the students. This particular show was called The Frosted Affair.
It's amazing. This video won't just show how creative and inspiring these students are, it also shows the people who aren't fashion majors what fashion may be sooner or later.
Just imagine when you walk by those window displays of clothes the fashion students made, you can't imagine how it could be worn. Good thing Neville Dione and Ken Nodden, 2 video students, could tape this to share what fashion is really about.
Your smile and the way you get down. Rock with me now. I can't see no one else. It's you by yourself, yeah, in spite of the crowd. Baby, no one else matters. It started off with the kiss. Never expecting this. And now I'm coping with my addiction. Started off with the kiss. Never expecting this. And now I'm coping with my addiction. While all the girls say,
I'm addicted to you. I'm addicted to you. I'm addicted to you. You're my addiction. I'm addicted to you. I'm addicted to you. I'm addicted to you. You're my addiction.
when I'm looking in the mirror, honey, you are all I see. Hey. And it could not be no clearer that I need you here with me. You feel it? Let's go. I was hoping.
Hi everyone, good evening. We would just like to welcome you to the fashion show. We are Mime. We stand for merchandise, influence, novelty, and design. For those of you who don't know, we're a fashion club here at the school, and this is our first fashion show, and we're bringing the club back. And on behalf of our president, Rashad Lane, our vice president, Christina, and our PR woman, Heather, and our model coach and secretary, Dom. We would like to welcome you to the show. Just to let you guys know, after the show, we will have light hors d'oeuvres that we'll be serving, so you guys are more than welcome to have some of those as well. We will have an after party at Lucky Strike Lanes for everyone who's 21 and older. I'm sorry, but we're gonna be drinking. So anyone who's 21 and older, please come join us. And then lastly, if you guys who aren't 21 and older would like to pick up some of the free bowling cards that we have for you guys can go in on a time before 9 o'clock, okay? Thank you guys, and have a good night.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Isn't this a fabulous event? Isn't this a fabulous event? Can I get some feedback? Yes. So on behalf of me, Rashad Lane, which is I'm the president, vice president, and PR, we would like to thank you guys for coming out and celebrating this, our first fashion show, which is the Frosted Affair. Frosted Affair? Yes. So I would like everyone to sit back, relax, and enjoy the fashion.
Hello, and I just want to thank everyone who was involved, all the models, backstage dressers, everyone who set up culinary. They'll be serving you food later. You'll get a taste of that. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for coming out. And the designers, of course, for making this show possible. Thank you.
Yeah.
and I need you so much. See you, breathe you, I want to be you. Ah la la la, ah la la la. You can take time to live the way you gotta live your life. Give me all of you. Don't be scared, I'll see you through the lonely nights and want more. Don't even think about what's right or wrong.
Four-letter word just to get me along. It's a difficulty and I'm biting on my tongue. And I keep stalling and keeping it together. People around gotta find something to say now. Holding back every day the same. Don't wanna be alone. Listen to me, oh no. I never say anything at all. But with nothing to consider, they forget my name. Hey. They call me Hell. They call me Stacy. They call me Her. They call me Jane. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. They call me White Girl, but I'm a riot. Mary Jo Lisa, always the same. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. I'm Mr. Catch if they throw me the ball. I'm the last strip standing up against the wall.
And we're back again.
That was really good. That was really good. My friend Rashad is actually the president of the Mind Club. We collaborated on a few projects, and he's actually a really, really good talent. So
I think it's really interesting how productive these students can be and how they can put on their own show. It's really an amazing thing, and it's actually pretty impressive of how a show could go that smooth with just 3 people running everything and prepping everything.
I know I would not be able to make those clothing. That's all I've got to say. I would not be able to like sit there. It's very tedious. I'm not a fashion person, so I don't know.
Yeah.
They did wonderful.
Yeah, they worked really, really hard on the show, on all their shows. Actually, I've been to all 3 so far, and they've been really good and productive, and all the garments were perfect. Not as lining, all of them perfect. Everything was lined up. Everything was perfect. No salvage edges at all.
Congrats to them.
Yes.
Congratulations to the Mind Club.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back at this commercial break.
Welcome back. Here with us is our musical guest, Javon. We can't wait to ask him questions about his career, so let's get started. How long have you been performing?
I've been professionally performing for about 3 years now. Singing has been since I was about 5. You know, I mostly sang, you know, Motown songs, you know, gospel songs, you know, R&B, you know, and I decided I wanted to do it professionally when I was 18. And just recently, you know, I've been recording in a lot of things and been performing all over Philadelphia, you know, at open mic nights and all that kind of stuff. So it's been kind of fun.
Well, what kind of music do you associate yourself with?
I'm old school R&B.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just want. Did you start off in like a church, or did you start off just singing at home with your parents or anything?
No, I didn't start off in church. I started, you know, singing, you know, at home with my parents. You know, usually driving in the car with Mom. You know, she turned on the radio, and you know, I start singing, and you know, she asked me, "Who's there on the radio?" I'm like, "Oh, Jackie Wilson." You know, the Temptations and all that kind of stuff. So you know, that's basically, you know, how I started singing.
So she could kind of connect with you.
Yeah.
So what kind of hardships have you gone through in order to try to kick off your music career?
Oh, being rejected. Because nowadays in the world we live in, you gotta have, you know, this certain kind of image. Either you gotta be about sex or, you know, all that other good stuff. And for a while, people they just don't care about, you know, real music. You know, you gotta. Most people like to dance, and you know, most people, you know, like songs about foolishness. So it was kind of hard at first, you know, because I'm not hip hop. I'm none of this stuff. You know, I'm old, and I think that's what, you know, turned people off about me. But you know, other folks were like, he can really sing. He has talent. You know.
You can just show them your chains and everything's cool.
Yeah. You wear white T-shirts and, you know, have your pants hanging halfway down your ass, and you know, that's what real music is today, and that's a shame.
Yeah. Okay. Well, would it be too much to ask if you could possibly give us a little sample, a little acapella? Come on.
Acapella, baby.
I love old school music,
right.
and it's just
sing your favorite song.
Blow me away.
This song, you know, has done a lot for me over the past few years because I won my first singing contest with it, and you know, what's something like I've been so many places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs. I've made some bad rhymes. I've added out my life on stages with 10,000 people watching. But we're alone now, and I'm singing this song to you.
Thank you. I could cry.
That was really good.
I could cry.
Well, we are kind of close, but hey, you all, stay put out there, and we'll be right back after these messages. And this is Javon.
Javon.
Don't dirty that shirt. That's my father's. He does not know you have it.
Relax, man. He will get it back all right. How long will you be?
About an hour. I gotta stop at a few places before I pick you up. But be ready. Just be careful with that shirt. It's my father's. He does not know you have it.
Who is it?
Me, Mr. President.
Come in, John.
We're right behind schedule, Mr. President.
I know. Tell me, has the Prime Minister arrived yet?
He's waiting downstairs. Have you made up your mind yet?
It's a tough decision, John.
The President, the American people need you on this. The time is now, Mr. President. Make the call.
What are my choices again?
Axe.
Old Spice.
Well, thanks everyone for staying tuned, and we really appreciate your views and everything like that, and we really do. Thank you.
Well, on behalf of Ken, Joey, and myself, thanks for watching, and we thank all of our guests from the studios of the Art Institute of Philadelphia. Once again, thank you for watching, and have a great year. We'll see you in Philly.
Yes.
See you.
See you.